Okay, section 53. Tennyson is still thinking about, in the previous section, we were talking about sin and kind of almost the inevitability of sin. Tennyson's still thinking about similar themes. He says, those are my boys killing each other probably. He says, I know a lot of adult men who are good, strong, noble men, but they went through a phase in their life, in their youth, where they, I think, sowed wild oats, is his phrase. They did bad things for a time. Um, I've got a little activity behind me here. Okay. A lot of good men went through a phase where they rejected the teachings of their parents and teachings of their church, and they did what they wanted to do. They followed their impulses and desires, but they have turned into good, noble, respectable men. And and you could say that there was something about that period of rebellion that helped prepare them to become the men they became. Tennyson asks, is it right to teach that, though? To teach that it's okay to go through a rebellious phase? Because there are also people who go through a rebellious phase and get stuck in addictions and broken lives, and they don't recover from it. And he says sometimes that you might teach that it's okay to go sow your wild oats, but some people are going to push that teaching beyond the mark and be led down to hell, lords of hell. He references again this eddy that we talked about a few verses ago, where the current, if you watch the current in the stream, you'll see on the edges little, almost like a teeny little whirlpool, where the water goes backwards and it kind of spins in a circle. Some people go through their wild oats phase, their rebellious phase, and they come out better for it. Some people get stuck in this eddy and they just circle back and forth. Tennyson's father was a heavy drinker, and I don't think he was I think it made him a cruel, by our standards today, abusive father. And so Tennyson, he had firsthand experience of what can happen to a person and to the family of that person if they get stuck in one of these eddies. So he's asking, is it worth teaching? Is it okay to teach young men to go sow their wild oats because that's what they need to become good, strong men? Or is it worth the people that get lost and stuck in the eddies? One more definition: hail, for example, as in line 4, who wears his manhood hale and green. Hale is like vigorous, healthy, young, strong. Okay. Section, I hope my boys are alive when I finish this. Section 53. How many a father have I seen, a sober man among his boys, whose youth was full of foolish noise, who wears his manhood hale and green. And dare we to this fancy give, that had the wild oat not been sown, that soil left barren scarce had grown the grain by which a man may live? Or if we held the doctrine sound, for life outliving heats of youth, yet who would preach it as a truth to those that eddy round and round? Hold thou the good, define it well, for fear divine philosophy should push beyond her mark and be procuress to the lords of hell. That line, I think, is advice to parents, advice to religious teachers. Where was it? Hold thou the good, define it well. Let's give clear teachings to our youth about right and wrong. That's what he's saying here.